Say happy Friday. Let me invite him. Speaking of him, let me send this off. And then we will rejoin. Okay. I think it's working. Just text him, make sure that he's in there. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Took care of all of your business today?
Yeah, I had a few things I had to take care of. But yeah, ready to go.
No
I'm
problem.
getting people to ask me to send them the link to the podcast here. It's not a podcast, but
First of all, we have a little. We do have a little something. So in FanDuel, in the Monster in Golf, we are fifth going into the weekend.
Look at you go, man! You could go another sport. You almost had the other win last night. That was brutal.
I'm pretty sure that DraftKings. I'm pretty sure, considering how I'm doing in DraftKings in golf, I think I need to win this outright to break even for the weekend. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I got that. I had fortunate enough to have the Taylor Pendrith on this lineup, who freaking went ballistic.
I can't see it, but
you can't see the lineup.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't see. I can't see it from where I'm at. So you got everybody through.
I got everybody through, and barely, because Stallings was even, and even got there, which was and I'm in fifth. And of the people that are ahead of me, I think only one of them is 6 of 6. So
let's go, buddy.
So I'm in 10K for first in that bad boy. So we will. So we got.
Can we talk about your last night real quick before we get into tonight?
Yes, we can.
I was pulling very hard for you. I wanted a Wiggins bucket at the buzzer, and Sheets takes down the 50K, the monster, the big one in NBA. It would have been 3 sports in 2 days. It would have been awesome. And I'm still happy for you that you're good with third. Had it been me, I would have been very upset. But you handle these things a little better than I do. But,
fortunately, more important than that, for the listeners, is the way it came about. And I'm all about, trying to make this about process and trying to teach people how to get better. And, it's really important that, look, everybody's got their own timetables or whatever it is, but if you could ever get to these live streams, remember how important this is. Number one, you have all the information in, right? Pretty much all the information. Number two,
right.
You have both Bobby and I like really just going back and forth and bouncing around. And me, selfishly, I was going through my monster lineup with all of you guys. You know what I mean? Like, while I was doing it. And I remember I was asking Bobby, or I said, "Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to stack this." I took Luka out, replaced him with Trey. And because I did that, I was able to replace Powell with John Collins, right? And then, So I had that one question left for you. And I said, well, what do you think of in that 5K range? I already have Brunson in. Do we want Brunson and Hardaway, or maybe Brunson and Bogdanovich? And you kept on saying Bogdanovich. And you know what? Because my stack just moved from the Dallas game to the Atlanta game. It just made perfect sense. And just, all projections aside, all this, whatever, it was talking through that all, you know what I mean? That got this to work. So, and I even joked about, maybe I'll put that freaking screenshot up there early, whatever it is. And dude, I was in first place literally the whole night until the last possession.
75 points for most of the night.
Oh yeah, I was throttling people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
dude, I was able to get Luka to bust, and it turns out actually a Luka lineup got me, I think. But everybody, pretty much everybody busted. It was a sheet slate, and I put a number up, and look, when you don't have any Curry, any Luka, and any Ja, you just run the risk of those guys getting you. You know what I mean? And they got me. That's the way it goes sometimes. It
Well,
took
they got you
it took
because
to
of
overtime.
overtime. But
It took to
you
overtime
nailed
to
it.
get me though.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk about tonight then.
Yeah, let's do
What do you?
it. By the way, I do want to say that I had a very frustrating cash in my big one on DraftKings. I literally was the exact bubble boy for like the 9th time already this season in NBA on FanDuel. It's really crazy how I sent you a screenshot of it. It was like
Right.
to me every night. Like I'm exactly the bubble boy.
Oh,
But anyway, we'll get into tonight. I think there's a lot of stuff to talk about.
yes.
Let's get Carnes did some one about 9K last night from the stream. So good job, Carnes. And
Oh, sweet. Are you serious? I didn't see that.
Yeah, nice job, Carnes.
Oh, nice.
That's great stuff. So let's get into it, man. What are we gonna do tonight to I want to say something about Luka. Like it sucks because I'm going to play Luka tonight. I don't like that I'm going to play Luka. I think Jason Kidd is the worst coach in the NBA. I really do. I think he has absolutely no business being a head coach. I think that he's a great assistant coach. The players like him, and he destroyed Giannis, and he's out to destroy Luka. So I am going to say, if you're going to play Luka, don't feel like it's as sure of a thing as we all think it is. Having said that, without Kristaps there, they're going to need to rely on him, especially in a game like this. And it is a perfect matchup. I am going to have a hard time not playing him, but I think that there is something really, really shady about this. And I actually think there's a reasonable chance they get absolutely smoked. So I have 3 big lineups going tonight between the sites. I probably am going to have Luka only in one of them. My initial thought was to have Luka in all of them. If it was Luka from last year, I would do it. Jason Kidd is awful and is destroying Luka. So that's my thing. I'm still going to have 1/3 Luka tonight. So that's where I'm at.
So there are 3 main points to tonight's slate, as far as I'm concerned. Number one is what to do with James Harden, because it's a question that I brought up at the beginning of the season, and I think every single day you have to face this that he's playing, because he's, until further notice, going to project like a smash play, and he's going to perform like someone who's a combination of hurt and frustrated, until he doesn't, because look, he's James Harden. He's one of the best offensive players in like the history of basketball. Say the, what I mean? Like, I don't think it's stretching to say that, you know what I mean? And from an efficiency perspective, that's also the case. So he's got to figure it out, but it's a frustrating situation. The second thing that's an important part of the slate is Jokic is questionable. If he doesn't play, I don't even want to know from this slate. I mean, you want to know the truth.
I'll play Michael Porter Jr. and everything,
I suppose, but I mean, I can't. I don't even know who else is on the team. That would play center. I don't know what to do.
They don't really play center against Dallas.
And the other thing is that, and this is, 2 other things. Number one, I mean, we still have we don't have full Laker news, right? Are we presuming it's just AD and Westbrook and no LeBron, or what are we presuming?
No, I'm going to guess that LeBron plays tonight.
You're going to guess he plays. Okay. Then the other thing is that, and this is where you and I are going to differ, and this is where, unfortunately, my history is going to just prevent me from probably doing the right thing. I'm just never playing anybody in back-to-back games when the back-to-back game is traveling to Denver. It's just not happening. So I will root for you.
Well, we're on the same page with that thinking, but you have to play. I mean, so you don't want any of this value either. Like Maxi Kleber put up 700 fantasy points last night.
Yeah.
That was that. I had that in my main lineups too, and I still couldn't get all the way home. That was actually what killed you, by the way, not the other guys. Yep. Maxi Kleber, like I'm gonna play this 3,300 Maxi Kleber. Like I'm gonna go there. Why wouldn't I? And if I'm not playing him,
I like your other take.
What's that?
They're just gonna get blitzed.
Even if they get blitzed, somebody's gonna go off. There's too many cheap bodies.
Yeah. It's gonna be my MVP. It's gonna be the assault of Jalen Brunson probably again. I don't know.
No, it could be Jalen Brunson, 100%. But if they get blitzed, it's not going to be Jalen Brunson. If they get blitzed, it's going to be like Hardaway or Bullock or Kleba. Kleba actually makes the most sense to me.
Well,
Yeah,
the other thing, but to just consider something else, by the way, about last night. I mean, look, number one, like there's just this is just runs anathema to my entire existence, like playing like a ceiling guy on a back-to-back game in Denver, like Kleber. I know what you're saying. And also he was almost I thought he was hurt also towards the end of that game. Remember, he got hurt and they took him out of the game for a little bit before they put him back in. I look, I've run good. I've done well. Banked some profits. I think this is the day I just elect to give it back. That's just the way that I'm going to do it. I think I'm just
okay. So you're sacrificing yourself. So who are you sacrificing yourself with?
Right. Now therein lies the question, right? So here, wait, I have another kind of terrible take. Actually, this isn't that bad. Okay, so Claxton is out. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because Claxton, I was going to make the case that it's very, very possible that if Bruce Brown does not start, that he doesn't play at all. Because we've done this before.
Yeah, I would say you're completely wrong with this take. Just any idea about this Bruce
As
Brown.
I said, it was a terrible take. I mean, what do you want?
I agree with you.
Yeah. Now, did they announce starters in that game?
I'm gonna guess that Bruce Brown starts again because he started. He's the game.
Oh, if he's starting, I'm totally going with the projection that he's a smash play. If he doesn't start, I'm telling you, I'm just going to play 0.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So this is all. It's all you and Rhodey tonight, man. This is like going to be your slate.
Okay, it's fair enough because so into all these plays, into my favorite plays, I'll get into it. Real quick.
Wait, here's the guy that's going to do it for you. By the way, on the blitz in the blitz package, if Denver blows him out, it's going to be your guy from last night. Not your guy, but it's going to be Reggie Bullock season.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I said Bullock was. I actually,
okay,
I have some interest in Bullock. It's a little, he played a lot of minutes last night in a tight game and didn't do anything at all, which is totally what he's going to do most of the time. So I don't think Reggie Bullock is like any sort of a smash. But you know who the best value is?
Is it TJ McConnell?
I think it's Joe Harris. I think I think the price range he's down at now is a little bit too absurd. And he can struggle, as you can see from his 5 of 15 and his 3 for 12 the game before that. And he's still putting up 25 fantasy points. You know what I mean? Like, right. I think Joe Harris is the guy you want to be playing amongst all these guys. He's just too cheap. Monty Morris, I like a lot as well, regardless of the Jokic news. But if there's no Jokic, Monty Morris is going to put up 40 fantasy points, and there's no two ways about it. People have this thing, and I'm sorry to say it. I don't want to expose people who I like, but there are some people who don't understand basketball who talk a lot about it and get paid to do it. And it's frustrating to watch because – the other night with Batum, how can Nicholas Batum be a good player? He's going to be 20% owned. He's 3,600. And literally, that's all I heard from a certain network all day long. And it was the dumbest thinking of all time. And he didn't even go off. He put up 27 fantasy points, which 3,600 is pretty awesome. But Nicholas Batum is like, he's not like a scrub out there. He's going to do other things too. He's going to get some assists. He's going to get some rebounds. He's going to get a steal or a block, or you know what I mean? Like he's not like a terrible basketball player. He's actually a really good basketball player who's used to being, third, fourth best guy on the court and plays that role really well. So I like those guys for value. I think Jalen Brunson is another, a little higher value, but I mean, are we really not going to play this guy? Like we kind of are crazy if we don't, right? So I think you've got a lot of value out there. Jalen Suggs is more speculative to me. I do love Suggs as an actual talent. But I think that at 5,100, like this is not a guy at 20% that I think we should be plugging in. I think he fails more often than he's going to make it. So that's sort of my rundown of the value. And again, I like Kleba. And I think Luke Kennard with ownership, get rid of him. If he's no ownership, get all of them. He just has to get hot. That's what you're playing for. But Batum is a much less thin play. At the same time, Kennard is getting minutes, so I can see the argument for him. And I actually think he's going to be a little lower owned than the projections have him. I think he's going to be more like 10%, which probably makes him viable. So I'm going to actually make a note. When he gets to be 20+%, that's when you want to get off of that. It's too high for a guy who has to make threes to get you there. So that's my value rundown.
Do we have any news on Bam Adebayo? I presume he's playing, right?
Bam's in.
Okay. Kyle Lowry, is he in?
Kyle Lowry, I assume we don't know for sure, but I'm going under the assumption that he's in.
Okay.
So what value do you have tonight, Sheets?
So if I knock out the guys that I said, so I like Bruce Brown if he starts. I don't know what I'm going to do with Dwight Powell, but I still have him as a value. I like Jalen Brunson. I'm going to go right back to Nicholas Batum, like you mentioned. And then a guy that you brought up in last night's slate, and he was, you know what? He was very, very good. I think he got 6X last night. I think he can do it again. Is what do you think of Rashawn Holmes tonight?
See, now you're speaking my language. I love playing Rashawn Holmes at low ownership. I don't love playing him when he's going to be fairly popular, which I think he's going to be tonight.
Okay.
But he's fine. I can definitely get on board with it. It's just, it's not the play that I got him at what he was like 2% owned the other night on the big slate. And they're doing really weird substitutions with him that I noticed. Like, it doesn't make any sense exactly how they're playing him. I thought they really wanted him, and he's had some nice games, don't get me wrong, but it's like he'll play for 2 minutes, then come out after 2 minutes. It doesn't really make sense to me what Sacramento's doing. But at the same time, I'm not going to question Sacramento, who I think is the most underrated. Like, they've really turned a corner. Them in Cleveland. Cleveland is actually a legitimate team now, but I think that Sacramento has turned a corner, and I think Holmes is a part of it. So I don't like love it with some ownership. Are you playing any of the? You're playing the Powell thing. I'm assuming that if Bruce Brown starts, you're going to play him, right?
Yes.
But if he's not starting, you're not interested.
No.
There you go. Okay, fair enough. I will take the lack of ownership. It's like the Aaron Holiday thing from last night.
Yeah.
I love the Holiday play as the off the board, and he gets to play with the second unit, and then all of a sudden it becomes the Neto play, which is what you did in your big lineup.
Yeah.
To your credit, and that was the right thing to do. Neto was 3% owned and outscored Holiday by 9 fantasy points, and basically the same price. So that's that. Kevin Durant.
Should we be thinking more about this Indiana stuff with Brogdon out?
Yeah, we should be playing Sabonis.
Oh, okay.
I think he's the chalk play. I think you play him. I am surprised at the projected ownership on McConnell. What do you have for McConnell's ownership?
12%.
Okay, that's a lot higher than what I'm seeing. I think McConnell is a really, really, really good play at 12%. Anything below 20%, I think that he's a terrific play. You do get LeVert probably back in this game, though, who's probably just going to play 20-ish minutes, 24 minutes maybe. Could take a little bit away from him. I also think Chris Duarte is a really, really, really strong play.
I feel as though LeVert takes away from the other trash more than
Duarte ain't trash, man. I'll tell you that right now. This guy is gonna be a star.
I didn't really mean him. I mean, Duarte's going to get his minutes. I don't know. Like, what are the other guys on that team? Like Jeremy Lamb, maybe.
Yeah, I don't have any.
McCollum, dude, he's good. He could play 35 minutes. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, but we need to start starting lineup, which would be nice.
Right.
And again, I'm going to operate under the same thing that I've been operating under, and that's basically outside of Mo Bamba, who I love for tournaments. I am not going to be playing players from the first game. I think Terrence Ross, you could certainly make a good case for him. You can make a case for Suggs. You can make a case for Carter. I'm ready just to skip it all and just play. If I play anybody, it's going to be Bamba or Fred VanVleet on the other side, or Precious. Scotty Barnes. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I just totally lied. I love OG and Anunoby, so I'm playing OG like everywhere. If you watch Toronto play, it's very, very clear he is the focal point of their offense. That was the only thing against OG's game before. With that, until we get Siakam back, it's going to be the OG Anunoby show. And you could look at it by his shot attempts. He shot 17, 18, 15, 17, and 21 times so far this season. On top of it, he's going to get you – he leads the league in steals right now. He also averages a block a game. He is going to get assists, and he's going to get rebounds. So OG at 6,800, I think the price hasn't caught up with what he's going to be. I think he could be 7,800, and I'd still be interested. So I love OG.
Joel Quenneville resigns.
And if you want an easy bet today to make, guys, take all of OG's overs. Take the over on points, take the over on rebounds, and take the over on assists. I think he eclipses all of them: 18.5, 5.5, and 2.5. Who resigned?
The freaking piece of shit from the Blackhawks.
Yeah. So we got a question about Michael Porter being a good play. Michael Porter is always a great tournament play. He is absolutely not in rhythm. He is not having the kind of start any of us expected. And that's just the kind of time where he comes out and scores 60 fantasy points. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happened very, very shortly. So I do like Michael Porter tonight, Michael Porter Jr. tonight, especially with the speculation about Jokic. Although my guess is that Jokic ends up playing.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on this, though. I don't have like a dialed in read on it. I do like Michael Porter Jr. I do think Will Barton has really hurt his progression. And I'd love that you're going to get I'm just going to play Michael Porter Jr. like in a quarter of my lineups every day. As long as, I'm over the field on him. When he gets to be 30% owned or 40% owned, that's when you want to fade him. FanDuel value, asked by K9 Bronco. The guys on FanDuel, I would like. I think Suggs makes more sense over there. Precious, I like a lot. It's harder to find value on FanDuel, but you don't really need it as much either. Kyle Lowry is too cheap. Reggie Jackson, Mo Bamba. That's not really value, but those are the guys. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Those are the guys who I'm playing in my lineup. I guess I'll put it that way. But you have plenty of mid-range guys, and then you don't really need like a bargain basement value on FanDuel tonight.
Well, you know what? You never answered one of my big questions is what you're doing. What are you doing with Harden?
I wish I knew. I think this is the best matchup he's going to get, and it feels like a get right spot. So at high ownership, I don't love it, but I will have.
He's going to be high owned again?
Again, he wasn't owned before.
Oh,
he hasn't been high owned yet. Right. But I would probably take the shot. He's out of shape. I mean, so is Luka. But Caris LeVert just got ruled out. So TJ McConnell is going to be an absolutely, I think it's a smash play. So I'm going to circle McConnell here, make sure I get some of him.
Yeah.
And I think Chris Duarte, by the way, is the other guy you can look at. I really like this Duarte guy. My second favorite rookie so far. Do you know who's really good at basketball? Who's like an unbelievable basketball player?
Who's that?
Evan Mobley.
Is he really?
He's unbelievable. Like, I mean, he's going to make the Cavs into a real, they're going to make the playoffs this year. I 100% believe it. He changes everything for them. He's an incredible basketball player. And he's
Where did he go to college?
USC.
Okay.
And he plays the 3 through 5, He's like he's a little bit KG Anthony Davis like. But a young version of them, you know what I mean? Like not quite there yet, not quite as raw athletically, but like it's there though. He is incredible. He's just an incredible basketball player. I have a love affair with Evan Mobley, and I honestly couldn't believe that he wasn't going to be the number one pick, even though I know Cade is going to be amazing and all these things. Evan Mobley is a guy who can change a franchise. He's incredible.
You know who else is a really good player that reminds me of Anthony Davis?
Who?
Anthony Davis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting what to do with the Lakers tonight. Because I think if you look at the projections of the individual player props, they're playing it like LeBron is going to be out. Like Westbrook is basically projected for a triple-double tonight. 19.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, 9.5 assists. That feels like LeBron is out, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I think LeBron plays.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But let's just pretend though, like for a second, we have LeBron ? We have Jokic ? You can get a whole bunch of leverage if you
just play Lillard.
Well, no, but you could just play LeBron you can play Lillard, leave a little bit on the table.
Right.
And then if LeBron's out, you switch over to Westbrook or to Jokic, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Or Anthony Davis, or both. Maybe that's what you should do, is just be stacking the later games, meanwhile just using the value from the early games. I do think that against this Indiana team who just doesn't play defense for some reason, I think that one of KD or Harden probably gets there. It just feels like weird that everyone's going to play Harden. He's projected for 50 fantasy points, and he hasn't even come close to that this whole season.
Yeah, I'm not playing him.
I think he's broke. I think there's something broken a little bit with him, but I still think I'm going to probably play him a little bit. I mean, he's come close to a triple-double every single game he's played so far, even with all this stuff. He's also hasn't scored more than 20 points in a game yet. That's crazy.
That is kind of nuts, right?
If you would tell me there would ever be a stretch for James Harden to play 5 games and not score more than 20 real-life points, I would have just thought you were crazy. I just didn't think it was possible for him. And credit to the league. They're not letting guys like him get away with it. Trae Young is adjusted just fine. Why can't Harden adjust?
What's funny about it is that like he still like flails when he gets literally no contact.
It's I love what the league is doing. Get rid of these guys. We got a question about Devontae Graham interest. What is Graham priced at? 'Cause I actually I'm very big fan of Graham in this role. But yeah, at 6K, I think that's reasonable. I like Devontae Graham. It's reasonable. For some reason, I didn't find him in my builds so much. Could be a mistake on my part, but I do like Devontae Graham. I don't think it's like an amazing play, but I think it's a good play.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play Harden on FanDuel. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Remember, he's probably a better play on DraftKings.
That's right.
Yeah.
that's my point.
I'm not saying to play Mobley, guys. I'm just saying he's an unbelievable basketball player. I would rather play Bamba in terms of fantasy.
Dude, you know who I'm getting like infinite of on FanDuel? This Nicole Alexander Walker.
Yeah, that's who I.
Okay, all right, okay, good, okay.
He's in my main lineup.
Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough.
He basically gets there every game. He's only had the one game. It's not like he's going to put up 50, but he's going to get around. He's going to get 30 to 40 probably more times than not in this matchup, I would say. Sacramento, by the way, has been better defensively this year. Something to look for. Who else do we have here? Let's see. I'm going to have to edit my lineups. I probably have to go a few minutes to try and do that because I literally haven't edited a build, which was just done about 20 minutes ago or half hour ago. LeVert out. I want to see what the projections do with LeVert out. Let's see what's happening with that. Sheets, what do you have for
I didn't do anything with LeVert. I didn't do anything with LeVert out yet. That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take I'm gonna take a look real quick and see what I've got.
I'm gonna have to do one, right? I mean,
I guess.
Okay, John Jenkins is saying Duarte or McConnell are okay to play together. I think it's totally okay to play them together. But.
Absolutely agree. I mean, honestly, that game is sort of begging to be stacked. The Indy Brooklyn game.
This slate is begging to fall apart. I got this weird feeling that Jokic sits or something stupid like that.
You know what? Maybe he does. So what? So we can adjust. There's plenty of guys you can pivot to in that price range.
I was going out to dinner and getting a drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm going to with my girlfriend's parents tonight, which they flew in from Chile.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
so that's going to be an interesting one. They're very interesting people.
27.
Do you know no one's going to play who has a ceiling? Oh, actually, you know what? He's probably getting played a little more than I love Miles Turner when he's like 1% owned. I think Miles Turner has a ceiling type of opportunity tonight.
He does.
You play against Brooklyn, you're gonna have a chance. You're gonna have a chance to shoot threes. You're gonna have a chance to get 1 million rebounds. And with Brogdon out, I don't think it necessarily benefits him that much. But I think in this matchup, it's a really good spot. I really like this as a stack. I'm looking right now.
Are you playing the baseball?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to watch two teams that I hate.
Well, I don't want to watch it either. I just feel like playing it.
They're probably my two least favorite teams in baseball. Maybe you could throw Boston there, but they have too many ex-Dodgers, so I even kind of like Boston a little bit. But all right. Anything else question-wise before I jump and finish my?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out because you know what? Just for funsies, I'm gonna redo projections with LeVert out and see how much of a difference it makes. It's gonna take me a few minutes, but whatever. I got nothing else to do for like a couple of minutes, so I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I've got McConnell popping and Sabonis popping even more, which he already was popping, and Duarte. Boy, Sabonis really let me down the other night. I had the most beautiful lineup, and he just was horrible in that Toronto game. He took 4 shots. He was 3 for 4 from the field. How does that happen? That game also.
That's good efficiency.
Yeah, I mean, it has me a little bit worried. Although you don't need Bamba's scoring, but like I kind of like the idea of playing Mo Bamba tonight, and it's got me a little bit worried that Toronto's doing a good job protecting the paint or something. I mean, that's pretty incredible that you only got 4 shots out of him in that whole game.
Kind of sneaky with a sneaky negativity on Mo Bamba. I think he didn't close the other night, which was a little bit.
That's going to happen a lot.
Okay.
It's going to depend on the game. If they're up, he'll mostly close against a team that's big. If they're down, he mostly won't, in my opinion. But he's still going to play 30 minutes ish, you know. But I don't think he's like anywhere. And by the way, Toronto has played a lot slower, and their defense has been a lot better, even though they haven't been winning that much. Really love OG, guys. I'm going to leave you guys with that. I think OG might be in all of my lineups tonight, and I'm just going to live with the result. I think you got to catch on to these trends. OG should probably be 8K and he's 6,800. So I'm just going to leave you guys with that one.
All right. So I will. So I guess Bobby, I will see you. By the way, I mean I also like to tout Bobby a little bit as well here. So I watched the NFL thing with Bobby and Rhodey. And just to be completely objective, right? I mean, dude, they were awesome. I have to say, if you guys haven't watched that yet, I mean, it's a good combination of good plays and off the board plays and discussion of it. I mean, I thought it was great, and I personally learned a lot from it. So I'm gonna.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, it was really, really good, and I'll be ready on Sunday for the final takes and stuff like that. Because I want to win a GPP in every sport this week. So
there you go. You guys, yeah, exactly right. You're most of the way there. All right. Well, good luck to everybody. I will catch up with you guys shortly, and let's crush it tonight.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just so you guys know, I'm gonna hang around a little bit. I mean, you guys can just chill. You don't have to, log out or anything. Yeah. I'm gonna get to some questions I can, but right now, just so you guys know what I'm doing, I am on the other screen. I'm updating my projections, or the projections for the NBA with considering LeVert out, and I just want to see how much of a difference it makes. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I have this extra time. And then I'm also going to just double check to make sure that Bruce Brown is starting and all that. We've still got a half an hour, so I am going to do that. Okay, loading here. Okay, it's going to take me just about 5 minutes, and then I will share all this with you, and then I'll probably change my lineups live. And that actually really worked out for me the last couple of days, a couple of times, just those last minute lineup changes with the with the new numbers. I mean, I won that hockey tournament doing that, and yeah, and I am playing the hockey tonight, by the way. All right, so just so you guys know, we're poking for a question real quick, see if there's anything to talk about. Thoughts on Dame? Okay, I am probably going to get to him because I just a matter of principle, especially on DraftKings. I am not going to be playing Luka. I mean, I think I've won one lineup with him, and I'm also not going to be playing. I don't think I'm going to be playing Harden on DraftKings either. Having literally nothing to do with projections or anything. Just let's say qualitative takes. I just don't like the way Harden is playing, and with respect to Luka, I've just been doing this sports thing a long time, and I just think it's always bad when teams go on no rest, back to back, traveling to Denver. It's just bad news. So I am going to I'm going to pass on that. Hold on a minute. And that's on DraftKings. Just because the projections are so strong, I'm going to play him on FanDuel. Maybe it'll be a little less owned over there, Harden. But I don't think I'll be playing Luka anywhere for whatever that's worth. Probably worth nothing. Probably just throwing money in the garbage, but in the name of transparency, that is what I'm doing. And I'm almost done with the NBA push, and then I'll let you know what it says. Okay, almost. Just one more ownership run, right here. And again, the ownership runs after these late things are always very, very fishy. The projections are usually pretty tight, but I'll just tell you that the ownership runs are extremely fishy because they don't really, you know, oh shoot, I'm gonna have to change something. Right. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Hold on. Sorry, it's another 2 minutes. NBA projections X, NBA FanDuel projection. Oh, do I want to change? No. NBA FanDuel projections. Where are you? Okay, so one more second. I will for putting up with me and the patience here, because we are a little under time crunch. I'm going to I'll just actually literally share the projections with all of you here once they're done. Okay. Okay. The suspense is terrible. All right, let's see what all this looks like. All right, so all right, not that much, not that big of a deal actually. So I don't really get much of a change. You know, TJ McConnell comes up here in my list, but it's not as if he's a total smash play. So it's not as if you have to play McConnell. But I think just this little bump is going to impact. And you know what? And Lamb gets a bump. So I am going to probably have to rerun my lineups here. Let me look at FanDuel for a second. Let me take a look and see if FanDuel, any change here. Yeah, McConnell gets moved up there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to rerun these lineups through my SaberSim just for openers and see what this gives me. And again, I'm doing some manual stuff because I'm going to be Xing out what's his name, Luka and Harden on DraftKings. So it's not going to be exactly the same. So I will just show you literally how I'm doing this live. And again, I have a little different upload system than just a regular true DFS. So that doesn't mean anything. Let's see. So we are re-inputting the DraftKings projection. It says LeVert is out. There you go. That is correct. And now what we're going to do is we're going to rebuild this stuff. I'm going to keep these sliders open. And then I'm going to look at it with Luka and Harden not X'd out. And then we're going to see how that changes. I'm kind of hoping that Luka and Harden don't get as much ownership anyway. But we'll. I mean, in this build, we'll see what I do here. No, I am still getting like 1,000,000,000% Harden. So we are going to. This is you know, don't try this at home. But we are Xing out Harden out of DraftKings. We are going to X out. We X out Kleber. Probably supposed to X out Kleber too, right? Okay, so we're going to X out Kleber. We'll keep Brown. Brown's just going to get locked in. But hold on, I want to see starters for Brooklyn. Do we have that? If he's not starting, I'm not playing. Nets. Let's see. Are the Nets starters? Is there any Nets starters? Hang on. Does anybody know if Bruce Brown is starting? Anybody? Yeah, Kleber's gone. So we don't know who's starting for the Nets yet, right? I mean, we have to know. I mean, it's got to be here somewhere, right? Because if he's not starting, he's getting X2. Just letting you know that. Nets. I mean, how do we do this? Latest Brooklyn Nets. I just don't have starting lineups for the Nets. Why do I not have starting lineups? Am I that bad? I mean, how do I not have starting lineups for the Nets? Lineup alerts. NBA. Let's try this. Norman Powell questionable. That's great. Lowry probable. Bam on track to play. Claxton ruled out. Raptors starters. Not released yet. It's 6:40, right? Okay. So I got a little time. It's 6:40. The end at 7, right? Is that accurate? Okay. So we're going to keep this here for now. And then, well, just give me a second. How could there be no... Let me see. Brooklyn Nets. Just nothing. He's got to start, right? With no Claxton also. I mean, not that he would start in place of Claxton, but I'm going to be locking him in, I think. And that's at 7:30. Well, what's at 7? That's the Charlotte game, right? And that's going to be TJ McConnell. Well, what if I did max 50% of Brown? What does that look like? Then I get a lot of Bam, which is actually really good. If I have to pivot from Jokic, would you play PG or Lillard? Now that's a good question. I'd love to play them both. that'd be a lot of fun. All right, so right now we're going to play 50% Brown. That's what we're going to do. And then we'll edit these entries right now. And oh boy, I really hope that Jokic plays. Just because, not that I don't even know if I have him, but just because I won't, just because the whole slate will fall apart otherwise. This, and then 1, 2, 3, put these here. I'm going to be somewhat diverse about the way I handle my lineups now. Like I'm not putting like any lineup in, like, how do I put this? And I'll show you. So like right now, like this is my build. You don't know who these players are, but like right now I have 20 lineups in this 15. And then what I'll do is I'll take one lineup from the 15, like my top one, I'll put in the 600. And then what I'll do is sometimes I'll take up in 2 others and put it in the 88. But instead of this time, because I'm not too confident, I'll take the next 3, I'll put them in the 88, and then the next 2 I'll put them in the 100 and the 200 in the single entry and the whatever, the 3 max. So let me do this, and then we'll do FanDuel. We'll rerun the FanDuel builds. What do I think about PG? I like it. I think he's gonna be low owned. And he's gonna also, he's in a late game too, which is gonna make him extra low owned. And you can screw around. Like if you have somebody from that Laker game or whatever it is, you could pivot, right? Is that the way that game was gonna work? Let me just see. Yeah, so you can make that work. Let's say you want to play AD or Lillard or somebody else. You could pivot to Paul George. And if you're playing Jokic, by the way, and if you see he's ruled out, then it's really easy, right? You can pivot away to those guys like really, really handily. All right, let me do FanDuel, and I do FanDuel Live too. I do the same thing. So let's go to FanDuel. And FanDuel, to give everybody a break, I'm not gonna manually ruin my lineups on FanDuel. I did it on DraftKings, but I'm not gonna do it on FanDuel. I'll you know what I mean? I'll play Harden if I have to. I'll play Kleber if I have to. I'll play Luka if I have to. That make everybody happy? Okay. So let's rerun this. Levert is out. And first we're going to just run them pure. Let's see what this comes up with. What kind of exposures am I getting here? Boy, even still, I'm getting like, am I even getting any Harden? Nope. I'm getting some Luka though. All right, so that's good news. So let's so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna edit my lines this way. Now I could do it using the SaberSim where it does all the new the changes for you, but I'm gonna do this one manually just so I can see what I got going on here. And I'll just show you guys what I'm playing. Yeah, this is if I'll tell you this, if Jokic is out, this is not going to be fun for me because I'm going out drinking. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to chance to see it, and if I do, I'm going to have to be able to adjust on the fly, which is just not a whole lot of fun when you're out. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so waiting for the CSV file. Okay. Good. Okay. And so again, so this is what I'm going to do. So this is the clutch shot, which is the $4 or whatever. So these are my 20 lineups. They're going to go into here. And also, I'm playing this this qualifier thing. I want to be like Rhodey and win a qualifier. So I'm going to do this, and then we're going to get a little greedier here. We're going to put the top one in the monster. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We have 5 slams. So we are going to like double do that one in the slam. So we get a little greedier with this slam diversification, and we'll put these guys in here. Good. Now I could show you guys what that is. And just know what we're rooting for. Provided, and now again, if I'm playing well, I'm going to be changing this stuff, right? Depending on what happens in the early games. And it's so important, and it's just throws so much money away to not do it. But it's just so hard when you're living a life, and you want to go out and like do whatever. It's just so difficult. However, it's the way it is. So I do have some Harden over here. Let's see what my big one looks like. See if there's anything I really want to change. So I do have Luka in my big one here, which is fine. Ooh, I'm a little different. I got Wagner. DFS. Oh, my God. This is a disaster. You know what? Maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe Fox. That's a play no one's going to make. And this one with Lowry and this one with no. I like the ones with no Luka and no Hart. But, I have enough of that, I think. Oh, but these are such good plays. Bullock is not that great of a play. Bam, Barnes, Walker, Hayward. Didn't think of that. Suggs. Got a lot of Lowry over here. Yikes. So I'm going to stick with what I said. I mean, I'm going to have a decent amount of Luka exposure on FanDuel, which is fine because I stubbornly X'd him out of DraftKings. I'll live with that. I think that's a good compromise, right? Do I think Duarte will be lower owned than McConnell? No. I think they're going to be pretty much the same. That would be my prediction. So here's what I am going to say is that if Bruce Brown is not starting, he will be X'd out. And if he's starting, I'm going to keep him with 50% on DraftKings. And needless to say, on DraftKings, with no Luka and no Harden, I am instantly different. Eric Bledsoe, I didn't think I got to him. It just seems like kind of a weak play, no? Does he put up, you think he's the type to put up ceiling performances nowadays? I don't know. So it's just so you guys know, I almost definitely am not going to be, well, I probably am going to be able to put up early look projections for the NBA tomorrow, but I am definitely not going to be able to put up anything later. Although I shouldn't say definitely, almost definitely. So what I always struggle whether to put up nothing at all or just put up early look that is just going to be useless. I decided that I'm going to put up the early look that might end up being useless. I just make sure I'll put early look up on the sheet so everybody knows to not rely on it as we get closer to lock. I'm going to be out pretty much all day tomorrow, and not going to be able. In the morning I'll get up. I'll probably do it. But aside from that, no. But there's going to be projections for pretty much every sport out there before I leave for tomorrow, and Sunday, obviously, I'll be around to be in part of the live stream. So I'm gonna get going. Good luck, everybody, and that'll do it. Hopefully, we continue to go.